The character.
That's an empty head. There was him who's asked me why that thing is here.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Koinange, and this is Jeff Koinange Live. And that fire extinguisher was because the hashtag tonight was supposed to be Triple B, as in Barack, Benji, and Bonnie. What a combination. But we are minus 1B.
He ran for the hills.
We're minus the man from Emmanuria for some reason. But as I always say on this show must go on. So, the bullfighters in the house, the senator from Kakamega, Dr. Bonnie Khalwale, showed up in time, as did the founder of One, as in O-N-E, Benji Ndolo. We're going to continue this conversation because there's been so much happening this past week. Luya politics, what's going on? Is there a split? Weta versus Baba? And by the way, Baba is in Philadelphia. We're going to get some insights. What's going on? Also, schools burning. Oh my. More than 100 in the last month alone. This is serious business. Somebody wake up. Somebody do something. Oh, and Nairobi politics. Let's not forget, CS Eugene Wamalwa is throwing his hat in the ring. And Sonko says, if Kalonzo's the flag bearer for Wiper, he's moving to Cord. Somebody say, oh my. Sounds like... All right, hashtags are at Bonnie Mtetezi with 2 I's.
K. Bonnie Mtetezi.
K. Bonnie Mtetezi. You've changed it again.
I know.
K. Bonnie Mtetezi at Benji Ndolo at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag, since we cannot use Triple B, let's use Up Close 2017. How's that? Can you do that? Up Close 2017. Gentlemen, Dr. good to see you.
Sorry.
Benji,
Good evening, brother.
how you doing?
I wore these for you because I know you love shoes.
Show me the soul.
Red.
Oh.
Jubilee.
Oh, Jubilee.
Tone for men.
Jubilee.
No. Guys, come on, brother.
Oh,
Excuse me, take
12 year 2, 12 year 2.
Let's go to business.
Okay.
Serious one.
Dr.
Yes.
What's going on in Luya politics? I mean, there seems to be a major rift going on. And the reason I say this is that this past weekend, for the very first time, you find a Cord co-principal standing up to his co-principal, as in Senator Moses Wetangula telling Baba, Raila Odinga, that maybe it's time, because you've tried 3 times and you failed, maybe it's time to give it up. One sign. Sign number 2, former Prime Minister gets on a plane to Philadelphia, Democratic National Convention happening right now as you speak in Philadelphia. And who does he take with him? He takes Musalia Mudavadi and Martha Karua. So we're left wondering, and please help us out, Dr. What's going on in Luya land?
Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What do you mean?
What you think is going on is what people would wish to go on. The hype about what Moses Wetangula said about former Prime Minister going to the UK, I mean to the US.
Yes.
It is being choreographed to look like A, there might be a fallout between Wetangula and Raila, and B, that subsequent to that, probably Raila is now looking for options, Ndavadi and Martha Karua. Whether he's looking for options or not, I don't want to be an expert on it, but I can surely tell you, as Wetangula's confidant, that there was absolutely nothing wrong with what Wetangula said. What Wetangula said is simply in sync with a healthy competition within the coalition. If indeed Wetangula is challenging Raila, he needs to make it crystal clear, as he attempted to do, that his opponent is not up to it. You cannot compete somebody for a flag ticket and go and tell people, although I'm contesting for the God flag bearer, Raila is better than me. I mean, that would be ridiculous.
Right.
So I want Kenyans to read this to mean it was a dig-in for a healthy competition. for the
So it
ticket.
was a good move.
A very good move. And in fact, we, as members of his party, the party that he leads, and the constituency that he controls in the country, we are very happy with what he said. And before Raila Odinga flew out, I was one of the last people he spoke to. We had a meeting with him at Mayfair Hotel. And I was telling him how nice it looks, because Kalonzo Musyoka and Wetangula had been made to appear like flower girls. So that myth is slowly being debunked. Yeah.
Benji, good move. In your opinion, was that a good move? Because up until that moment, no one could challenge Baba. Nobody.
You know, Jeff, the problem with our country, and I said this yesterday at the workshop for the Society for International Development, the problem with our country, and Bonnie is one of the cleaner, better, leaner politicians that we have.
Thank you.
Honestly, our politics is built on rubbish. I'm not afraid to say it. Politicians say this when they mean that. And because we've been in this culture for such a long time, it's become normalized. And people think that by telling lies, you know, first of all, what are we talking about here? We're talking about mobilizing ethnic groups.
Yeah.
That is so 17th century. Yeah. We're talking about taking the lawyers from here, and this other community is in the back pocket, and then you come to the table. It's very cynical. It assumes that Kenyans are not smart. It is Kenyans themselves who feel this kind of thing. But the truth of the matter, Jeff, is that, you know, Wetangula, coming back to the issue of this statement, is a former foreign affairs minister. His counterpart, and by the way, for avoidance of doubt, I happen to know all these principals, and they're friends of mine, so I'll be as respectful as possible. And full disclosure, these are guys that I know. And one of them has been a vice president. They have access to intelligence. So a lot of what you're not hearing, Jeff, when you hear they talk about rigging, when you hear the attacks on the IEBC, when you hear them say that it's not possible for Raila to get it, a lot of what you're not being told is that there is, you know, conventional wisdom. There's another force, for whatever reason, not the electorate, that has been tampering with these things. And Raila himself has said that, quote, I have the distinction of being the only person that has been robbed of a presidency twice. Has he not said that?
He said it.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
So what we need to do is go beneath the surface and see exactly what the issue is. But you see, that's too dangerous. That's too risky.
Yeah.
So what we do is keep playing all these games. I saw a very concrete proposal yesterday, Senator, saying that Raila should not have invested energy after 2013 in keeping CORD together. That ODM is the dominant party, Raila is the dominant principal, he's known as Principal One. I mean, nobody wants to talk about all of this stuff. So let me just say this, Senator. You know, many times for me, those who followed my work know, I like to speak from the standpoint of a human being. It must be very offensive for Raila, as it was in 2007, for the insinuation that somehow he is undeserving, even though he is the senior principal and has done more work and has paid a greater price in the struggle than his brothers.
Let me ask you
that
this.
must be offensive.
Okay, let me ask you
But
this.
nobody's going to talk about
Dr.
it.
Let me ask you this. Could Raila have realized that 2017 is unreachable, for argument's sake, and that it is time to say whoever Tosha? Is that possible?
I mean, if Raila ends up finding it difficult to say Kalonzo Tosha or Wetangula Tosha, then Kenyans should not blame him. Wetangula and Kalonzo should not blame him. Wetangula and Kalonzo should blame themselves. It means because of the vast experience that he has accumulated over the years, he has then therefore not seen it in them that they deserve to earn the title Tosha. It's up to Kalonzo and Wetangula to fold their sleeves, fight it, and earn the right to be said, to be told Tosha.
Are they
Senator,
waiting?
guess what?
Wait,
Yes.
go on.
Senator, guess what?
Yes.
You know, we're not here for entertainment
No.
or to lie to Kenyans.
No.
I respect Kenyans. This is a national platform.
Yeah.
To be honest, you know, I told my friend Kalonzo, like 2 years ago, Bwana, go to work.
It's good work.
If you want to lead,
Yes.
go to work.
Don't wait.
Sit and do your strategy and roll out. It is going to be offensive to your core principles if you somehow think you'll wait and they just give you.
It can't happen.
Now we are exactly 1 year to 2017.
But tell me something. Are they
These
waiting?
guys don't take advice.
Are they waiting for the anointing?
How does that look to you?
And
How
if
does
that-
it look to you?
Yes. If they're doing that, they're absolutely wrong. For example, I've told Brother Steve that I want to see you out of Ukambani.
Yes.
Doing politics out of Ukambani. Similarly, Wetangula, I want to see him out of Western Province. That way, he cuts a national profile. Failing which, Raila can only be forgiven for failing to see that they deserve to be called, to be told Tosha. Now, let me come back to the meaning of the word Tosha. How did Raila end up saying Kibaki Tosha? Raila was not in love with Kibaki.
No.
Yeah.
At all.
At all.
But
In
he
fact, he had
found,
more to gain from Nyachai.
yes,
Nyachai had more money,
and then
and they even had a deal.
a deal, we've been told. But he realized all of a sudden that the person who had the clout,
Yes.
who would then defeat Uhuru,
And the staying power.
was Kibaki.
And he shocked everyone else.
Yes. So we want, between these two guys,
Yes.
Wetangula and Kalonzo, to give Raila that opportunity to see that this is the guy who is deserving.
What if Raila says Mudavadi Tosha? What if he comes with a surprise like he did with Kibaki?
First of all, let me just clarify something, Jeff, because I thrive on facts and statistics. The trip to the US
right now,
right now,
with
it's not fair for us to make it look like it's some conspiracy and
Sure.
Raila has decided, because that's how it looks on paper.
okay,
The National Democratic Institute, NDI, which is an American organization, in trying to do its work to deepen democracy, has organized this thing to look at the Democratic Convention. So all the leading political party, presidential candidates have gotten a chance to go together.
so why didn't these others go? Why didn't Kalonzo go? Or
he's not a presidential candidate per se. He's a deputy, right?
I'm sorry, he's vying for presidency.
No, he didn't run for president in 2013. The guys that are there, Mudavadi, Martha, Peter Kenneth should be there, Raila, were presidential candidates. So it is my logical assumption that it is on that premise that they have gone to see a
So
presidential.
we shouldn't read more into that.
That's what I'm saying, and that's important.
Let's come back to what I said. If Baba said Mudavadi Tosha, let's say for argument's sake, then what?
If he says Mudavadi Tosha, I want to assume that you'll have been informed by the political dynamics on the ground, i.e., that Mudavadi then would be the most likely to defeat
And it's not
President
likely.
Uhuru. So if he says that, I would find it